From VTV Channel 6 Studios in downtown Vernal, this is Local Point with your host, Chris Piner.
Welcome to Local Point, brought to you by Strata Networks. I'm your host, Chris Piner. Joining me in today's show is Jason West, Recreation Planner for the Bureau of Land Management. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks for having us on, Chris.
Thank you for coming. Well, today, what are we going to talk about with the BLM?
We're going to talk about travel management planning and how you as a citizen can get involved to let us know where your trails, roads, and access issues are so that we can generate maps for the public so that they can find their way around the Vernal Field Office and the area in general.
That was very concise. That was very good.
I'd like to narrow it down.
Yeah, I like that. So you called this travel, when I heard you were coming on the show, as a travel management planning. I wasn't really sure what that was, but I think I'm getting a better feel for it now. People want to use the lands here in the area, and you want to help them better know where to go and what trails are available for whatever particular thing they may want to do.
Well, and we also want input on how you're going to use those trails and where you think we need them. It's not just for recreation users, it's also for administrative uses like cattle grazing, ranching, and mineral extraction. We need to know where your access desires are, if you have issues with current access, if there's too many ATVs in your area, if you'd like to see more ATVs and opportunities. This is the opportunity to let us know. If you're a mountain biker, a hiker, an equestrian user, come talk to us. We need to know where you'd like to have trails, what existing trails are on the ground, and what designations or what types of vehicles you can use in what places. It's really good information to be able to have that, so when you go out, if you run into a law enforcement officer, you can say, I'm on the right road with the right vehicle.
Right, and they can also use that to say, you're not on the right road, or this is the map. So when you say, now's your chance to let us know, you're in an information gathering phase right now of this overall project?
Correct. We've gone out with the BLM and we've inventoried all the roads and trails that we know about. Every time we come to an intersection, we got out our mapping devices and we put them in, and we have an electronic database that we're going to bring to some public meetings. And we want to know if we've missed anything. So if you have a road that you're using that we don't have on our map, let us know. And if you see the roads that we have, tell us what you're using them for. And so that'll determine in the future and help give us guidance on what we need to plan for.
I see. Now, ultimately, you're going to use this information to create maps.
Yep. If you come to the Vernal office, a lot of times you want to know how to get from point A to point B and what to see along the way. Once we have our maps together, they'll be clear and concise and easy to follow. And so we're really excited to be able to provide that to the public. It's about 3 years out before we get that. It's a federal process and will take some time, but we hope to have a really good product when we're done.
Now, you'll be able to then tell someone, I come to your office and I say, hey, I want to do some snowshoeing. Then you might be able to, in 3 years' time at least, say, here's a map. These
Absolutely.
are great places. This is where you can go.
So we'll have non-motorized segments of our map where we can show folks where they can go hiking, mountain biking, riding horses, cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. We'll have motorized sections where you can see that you can use an ATV or a 4x4 vehicle or a side-by-side or a dirt bike. And then we'll also have other opportunities for folks, say, if they're looking for an oil field location, we can show them the best roads to get there. One of our common destinations is Fantasy Canyon, and if you know this area, you know that the signs aren't in very good shape. This planning will allow us to put money towards putting in nice signs so that people can find their way around the Uintah Basin.
All right. So this, we should say, is specifically for BLM land.
Correct.
Is that how you say it? I don't know.
It's Bureau of Land Management lands, and this is sometimes can be confusing for folks. I grew up around here, and I always just associated federal land versus private land. And so the Bureau of Land Management's not the Forest Service. We're not planning for their roads, and we're not planning for state management areas. We're just planning for the BLM managed roads. And one thing we want to be clear about is there's an issue in the media about 2477 roads, revised statute 2477 roads. The BLM's not allowed to address those roads in this planning process. So this is just come talk to us about your roads, and that's addressed through another process.
Right, and you're really looking for, I mean, just general public input from all areas and sectors to make
Absolutely.
this.
So if you're a rancher, come talk to us about your ranching needs to get to your allotment. If you're an oil and gas person, come talk to us about your needs. If you want to see a road expansion, or if you're seeing a dramatic breakdown in transportation, come tell us. If you're a mountain biker who has a great idea for a new trail, come talk to us.
That's good. I was going to ask you about that. So you're open for new roads,
Absolutely.
trails, paths.
The idea about planning is we're going to find where our deficiencies are and what our needs are, and we're going to plan for future use.
and why not ask the people that are using them? So that's
Absolutely.
great. All right. Well, I do want to talk a little bit more about this information gathering because you have a couple specific meeting times and places, and we'll talk about a couple other things at the BLM too.
Okay.
But we're going to take a quick break first. We'll be right back to hear more from Jason after this message from our sponsor, Strata Networks.
Strata Networks is proud to bring the first true 4G LTE network to the Uintah Basin. 4G LTE is the most powerful mobile broadband available anywhere in the world. With speeds up to 10 times faster than 3G, you can stay connected like never before. Video chat without delay, stream HD TV or movies in an instant, and download or upload in seconds. For details, visit us in Roosevelt or Vernal or call 622-5007. More speed, more power. 4G LTE, only from Strata Networks.
Welcome back to Local Point. We're here with Jason West, Recreation Planner for the Bureau of Land Management. Now, we've been talking, Jason, a little bit about some information gathering that we're hoping to get from the public to ultimately refine the maps that you have and then create some maps that can be distributed to the public. Did I summarize? Is that good?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Now, when we're talking about BLM land, can I say BLM? I said
Absolutely,
BLM, you
yeah.
corrected me before, Bureau of Land Management, land. How much is that out here?
We have
And where is it?
between Daggett, Uintah, and Duchesne counties, we have about 1.7 million acres. It encompasses the Book Cliffs, Diamond Mountain to the north, to the Green River, all the way to the state boundary on the north and the east.
All right, I'm glad I asked that because that also helps distinguish this Bureau of Land Management land from private land, from National Forest Service,
Right.
and that kind of thing as well. This is specifically for the Bureau of Land Management lands.
Correct.
1.6 million, that's, I can't even
It's a big
comprehend
chunk of
how much
change.
that is. And so no wonder you need information.
Yeah.
You're asking the public to come to some open houses then. All right, well, what's going to happen at those? When are they, and what's going to happen?
So because we're encompassing Daggett and Uintah counties, we're going to have two meetings. Initially, one is going to be in Daggett County. It's 5:30 on the 5th of June, and it's in an open house format. So it'll be a little bit different than you used to with government meetings. We'll have specialists on hand to answer your questions about wildlife, about recreation, about mineral extraction, and you can come sit down and look at maps and talk to the individual interests in that area. And that's the first meeting in Manila, and on our website
I like
we'll
that.
have
So
the
it's a very
location.
interactive thing specific to what your needs are, or what you bring
Right, so
to
if
it.
you have interest for recreation, you can come right to the recreation specialist, or if you're a rancher, you can go right to the rangeland management
All right.
individual and ask your questions and get answers.
Good. Now, I'm sorry. Where is that meeting going to be?
That's going to be at the Old Timer Center in Manila, and see our website for the address.
for the address, and then you said that was the June 5th meeting at 5:30 in Manila, and then there's another one.
The following day, on the 6th at 6 o'clock, here at the Uintah County Library, we'll be meeting to discuss the Uintah County area. So, and that's just for that north area. One of the things we want to stress here is that our field office, that 1.7 million acres, it's been broken into 5 areas so that we can deal with each piece adequately instead of trying to take on too much.
Too much at
So
once.
come out to talk to us about the Diamond Mountain area, down south towards the monument and over to 191. This is where we're focusing for our first effort.
So when you say first effort, are you saying that this is like an early phase? There will be additional meetings in the future to
There
take
will
on.
be. So we'll have 2 opportunities for the public to comment on this first piece that we're working on. And then each piece after that will also have 2 opportunities for the public to comment. So we need your help. Come on
Yeah.
out.
And no complaining if you don't come, right? So they really do want your information, and now is your chance to come and give that to them. You know, share some of that.
It's a real opportunity to get involved, especially if you're like me. I grew up in the Uintah Basin, and I'm really concerned about access to my public lands. I want to make sure I can go ride my mountain bike. I want to make sure I can ride my horse, and I want to make sure I have adequate access to get to those places. So we want to hear from you too, because I don't know every trail.
Now, some of this is also upkeep because you mentioned some of the signs that are in disrepair. So
Right. So after we get this effort done and completed, we'll have access to funding to put up signs, and that's called our implementation phase. And I don't want to scare anybody away with our government vernacular, but it basically means we can put into play what we get finished. And part of that is putting those signs in place so that you can find your way around.
Well, that's very exciting, and we're very proud here in the basin of our lands and the things that we can do. We've got some beautiful, beautiful areas. So people need to know how to get there.
Right.
Now tell me how you're also integrating Google Earth and satellite photography.
So we have several maps already from our inventory phase that show you the routes that we've documented. If you go to our website, you can click on those maps and be able to open them with a basic Google Earth program and take a look at the routes we have currently and see if anything's missing, and also which routes you want to comment on.
So there are maps available.
Right.
Right, but it's just in that kind of a digital format and it's being refined.
Right, so if you're high tech and you have like a Garmin, you can get GPS files and bring them to us and we can upload them, or we can give you GPS files to put on your Garmin. Or if you just want to grab a crayon and come in and draw on a map for us, we can take your
high tech,
your
low
advice
tech,
that
it
way.
doesn't matter, but you're really open for anything anybody can share.
Absolutely, and we have a comment form available on our website. So start filling out those comments for us so we can get your input into
And
the system.
we should mention that too. It's a very long website. We'll put it up on the screen, but you do have a website that you'd like people to go to. And what will they do there?
So we'll have the maps available for you to take a look at, and we'll have a comment form as well. So look at the maps, and then use the form to make your comments, and you can bring that to the public meeting with you, or you don't have to participate in the public meetings and still be involved if you're not available.
So if you can't make it at the meetings, you can participate that
Right.
way. Jason, this has been great, good information for us. We're appreciative of the efforts that you're going through, and we'll probably need to have you come back again, right?
We'd be happy to.
We'll talk about other phases and other parts of that land. Thanks again, Jason, and thank you for watching today's show. That's all for now. Please join us next time right here on VTV Channel 6.